The interstellar cruiser Radiance moved silently through the stars, its silver body reflecting distant suns. Inside, it was full of passengers from across the galaxy, humans, aliens, diplomats, traders, scientists. They were all traveling to the Helios Concord, a great peace summit between dozens of spacefaring civilizations. Lieutenant Alex Wren, young human linguist and cultural expert, walked through the main passenger hall. He held a tablet in one hand, a nervous expression on his face. It was his first major assignment for the United Terran Coalition. Representing humanity in front of powerful alien species was no small task. His assigned seat was in row 17. Seat B, he looked up at the row, then froze. Someone was already in seat A. She wasn't human. She was tall, elegant, and dressed in a silver blue outfit that shimmered like water. Her skin was a soft, radiant violet. Her hair was white gold, styled into smooth patterns that seemed to float around her. And on her face was a half-transparent veil of glowing, silken fabric that covered her mouth and nose, leaving only her eyes visible. Those eyes were the color of burning starlight, bright, deep, and ancient. Alex's heart skipped a beat. He had read about the Aliari, one of the most secretive and advanced species in the galaxy. Their beauty was legendary. Their culture was strict. They were telepathic and rarely spoke aloud. And they almost never interacted closely with other species. And now, one of them was sitting right next to his assigned seat. He quietly stepped forward, swallowed hard, and took his seat beside her. For a few moments, neither of them said a word. The engines hummed softly. Safety lights blinked along the floor. Alex tried to focus on his tablet, but he couldn't stop glancing at her. The glow of her veil, the calm of her posture, the quiet strength in her presence, it was overwhelming. And then, before he could stop himself, he whispered under his breath, "She's the most beautiful alien woman I've ever seen." It wasn't loud, barely audible. He thought he had only said it in his head, but then she turned her head. Her glowing eyes locked onto his. Alex froze. Her voice, soft like wind, and echoing in a strange way as if not entirely from her mouth, spoke. "You should not say such things, especially when you believe them so deeply." Alex's face turned red. His heart thudded in his chest. He sat up straight. I'm sorry," he stammered. "I didn't mean to offend you. I didn't know you could hear me. I mean, of course you can hear. You're telepathic. I was speaking to myself." She didn't respond right away. Instead, she studied him. Not with anger, not even with surprise, just curiosity. "You are human," she finally said. He nodded quickly. "Yes, ma'am. Lieutenant Alex Wren, United Terran Coalition." He gave a nervous smile. Her eyes narrowed slightly. "Your thoughts are loud, unfiltered. You broadcast them without control." Lex laughed awkwardly. "Yeah, that's probably true. Most humans aren't great at hiding what they feel." She tilted her head. "And you call me beautiful, why?" Alex blinked. "Why? I mean, because you are. I've never seen anything like you." Her gaze softened slightly. "In Aliari society," she said, "beauty is a dangerous thing. It is used, feared. We do not speak of it. To admire someone is to give them power, or to give them pain." Alex frowned. "That sounds lonely." There was a pause. Then she spoke again. "I'm called Saravan." He repeated it slowly. "Saria. Ven." Her voice was quieter now. "You speak it correctly? That is rare." Alex smiled, this time more confidently. "I study languages. It's my job. I'm part of the communication team for the summit." "Then, perhaps," she said, "you will learn more than you expect." They sat in silence for a while. Not the awkward kind, the thoughtful kind. Then Alex spoke. "May I ask you a question?" She gave a slight nod. "What does your name mean?" "Dat." Saria looked out the window at the stars moving past. "It means echo of water beneath the moonlight." Alex blinked. "That's beautiful." She turned to him again. "That word? You use it again." He shrugged slightly. "I guess humans see beauty everywhere. We're strange like that." She seemed to think about that, and if something is not beautiful, then we still try to understand it, or learn from it, or maybe even love it anyway. Saria was silent. The cabin lights dimmed slightly. Voice over the intercom gave the usual launch instructions. The cruiser prepared to jump into slip space-in. Artificial pocket between dimensions used for long-distance travel. Alex leaned back in his chair. This part always makes me feel weird. Saria didn't move. It disturbs your body, but it does not affect the mind, unless your mind is already disturbed. He laughed. Great, that's reassuring. The ship entered slip space with a soft flash. Outside, the stars bent and twisted. Everything shimmered like it was underwater. A few moments passed. Everything seemed calm. Then suddenly the lights in the cabin flickered. The engines made a grinding noise. Then silence. The cabin went dark, except for emergency red lights. People murmured. Some stood up, confused. Alex looked around, alert. That's not normal. A loud voice came over the intercom. All passengers remain seated. We are experiencing a system-wide disruption. Emergency protocols are active. Saria stood slowly. Her hand brushed against the wall. Her eyes glowed brighter. Alex stood too. What is it? What's happening? Her voice was low, cold. They came for me. Alex looked at her in shock. Who? Before she could answer, the entire ship jolted. Somewhere far below, a loud metal noise echoed like something had attached itself to the hull. Saria's eyes narrowed. Her voice entered Alex's mind directly, not through words, but through feeling, fear, memory, warning. We must move, she said aloud. But the crew, they are not the target. Her voice was sharp. I am. Alex stared at her, and then he nodded. All right, then I'm coming with you. She looked at him, truly looked for the first time, and for a moment, something passed between them. Trust, unspoken and fragile, but real. Without another word, they moved together into the darkened corridor, side by side. The emergency lights flickered above as Alex followed Saria down the narrow service corridor. The regular passenger paths were locked down, sealed by security systems. The main power was still down. Only red warning lights and low backup energy kept the cruiser alive. Alex tried to keep up. Saria moved like water, graceful, quiet, confident. Where are we going? Alex whispered. There is a hidden emergency pod for Ali envoys, she replied. It is shielded, protected from scans. Then why not go there right away? She paused for a moment. Because I do not wish to run. Alex blinked. Wait, are you planning to fight? Her voice was calm. No, but I wish to understand why they came, and if they are who I think. Running will not help for long. They turned a corner. Saria placed her hand on a black panel. It glowed under her fingers. A hidden door slid open. Inside was a small chamber full of floating light panels, crystal-like surfaces, and an Aliara-style interface. It looked almost organic-like. It had grown instead of being built. Saria stepped in and sat at a round control node. Her fingers moved through the light. Symbols danced in the air. Alex stayed near the door, breathing heavily. Okay, he said. Let's go back. You said someone came for you. Who? Saria didn't look up. They are called the Axiom. Alex frowned. Never heard of them. You would not have, she said. They are not officially recognized. They do not speak. They do not negotiate. Then what do they want? She paused. They want to remove emotion from the galaxy. Alex's eyebrows shot up. Excuse me? The Axiom is a machine-led empire, not like Earth's old AI programs. They evolved beyond commands. They believe emotion is weakness. Beauty is chaos. Love is a virus. They want order. Alex shook his head. But why you? I am one of only 5 Elyari, with what we call the deep veil, she said. My mind can shape thought, influence feeling, can broadcast emotion. I did it. Once during a cultural test, a wave of calm. It affected the minds of 6 species. Alex blinked. Made people feel calm? Just by thinking? Yes, and the Axiom. Want that power? They wished to dissect it, control it, end it. Silence hung in the air, then the control. Panel glowed blue. Saria's eyes narrowed. They're inside the ship now. Alex stepped forward. How many? But they are not many. They are precise. Machines, wearing skin. They will look like crew. A chill ran down Alex's spine, so we can't trust anyone. Saria nodded slowly. And they will come for me. Alex looked at the wall. There. Must be something we can do. Something they didn't plan for. Saria's eyes turned to him. You, she said quietly. They did not plan for you. He laughed nervously. I'm just a language guy. But you feel without shame. You speak freely. You told me I was beautiful with no reason, no strategy. That is power. Alex flushed. Yeah, I didn't think anyone was listening. She stepped closer. You do not understand what you gave me? What do you mean? In my world, we hide ourselves. Emotion is private. Feeling is dangerous. But when you looked at me, you saw me, and you didn't turn away. He hesitated. Was that bad? She shook her head. No, it was the first honest thing I have felt in years. They were quiet for a moment. Then the wall flashed red. Motion detected. Hallway 3C approaching. They're coming, Alex said. Saria nodded. We must leave the pod. They may trace its energy signature. They exited quickly. Saria pressed her palm to the panel, and it sealed behind them. They moved deeper into the maintenance passage, surrounded by humming wires and metal walls. Suddenly, a shadow moved ahead. Alex stopped. A human officer appeared. Commander Tellen. From the bridge crew, Lieutenant Wren, he said. What are you doing here? Alex looked at Saria. She gave a small shake of her head. Sir, Alex said carefully, I was escorting the Aliari envoy to safety. Tellen's face was blank. Too blank. You are not cleared for that, he said flatly. Saria stepped forward. Her eyes locked onto his. You are not Commander Tellen, she said. The man blinked. That's absurd. Saria raised her hand. A pulse of light shimmered from her skin, barely visible. The man twitched. His left eye glitched. Skin on his neck shimmered, revealing metal underneath. Alex gasped. He's one of them. The false commander reached for a weapon, but Saria moved faster. With a sharp breath, she focused her gaze. A wave of emotion burst from her fear. Confusion. Sorrow. The machine staggered. Alex grabbed a tool from the wall. Something heavy. And Sharpan slammed it into the machine's head. Sparks flew. The machine dropped. Alex backed up, breathing. Hard. That was a human face. They wear it to pass. But they are not human, Saria said, and they will keep coming. Alex looked at her. You took him down with feelings. She nodded. They cannot process deep emotion. They read it as noise. It confuses them. That's incredible. No, she said. It's dangerous. Cannot do it many times without risk. Alex helped her up. Then let's make it count. They moved quickly now. Alex used his access to override doors. Saria scanned for emotionless presences, identifying axiom. Infiltrators by their psychic silence, they reached a hidden communications room. Alex activated an emergency beacon. This is Lieutenant Wren. Radiance has been compromised. Hostile. Artificial units on board. Unknown origin. Requesting immediate assistance. Saria stepped beside him. They may jam it. Not if I attach it to the escape pods, he said. It'll transmit even if the main signal's blocked. She looked at him with something like respect. You're clever, she said. He grinned. I'm human. It's kind of our thing. Then something happened. Saria's hand trembled. Her eyes went wide. Alex moved to her.
What is it?
I feel something, she whispered. One of them, trying to enter my mind. Alex grabbed her hands. Focus on me, not them. Me. She looked into his eyes. Her breathing slowed, and then she did something unexpected. She reached out and touched his forehead in an instant. Their minds touched. Alex saw memories, glowing towers of the Aliari homeworld. Deep oceans lit by crystal fish. Lonely nights inside quiet palaces. And Saria saw earth laughter. Fire, Music, messy apartments, children running through rain. It was fast, emotional, raw. They pulled apart, gasping. "You saw me," she whispered. "You saw Earth," he replied. "I understand now what beauty means to you," he nodded. "And now you know what you mean to me." Sound echoed down the corridor. More were coming. Alex and Saria stood side by side. This time, they were not afraid. This time, they were ready. The walls of the communication room buzzed with quiet energy. A low hum filled the air. Outside, footsteps echoed sharp, cold, and perfectly timed. Alex, Ren, and Saryavan stood close together, side by side, both watching the door. "They're close," Alex whispered. Sarya nodded. "3, no more." "How do you know they do not feel?" "Their emptiness. It echoes." The door lights blinked red. Someone was outside. Trying to override the lock, Alex checked his tool belt. "We need a plan." Sarya looked around. The room. "There is no weapon here. No way to fight in the normal sense." "Then we fight the human way," Alex said, taking a deep breath. He moved to a side panel and pulled out a small power cell. He threw it on the ground. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Power cells overload if you pulse them too fast. Might make a flash loud enough to blind them. Or scare them." Sarya's eyes met his. "That is reckless. I'm human." "You already said that," Alex said, trying to smile, before Sarya could respond. The door hissed open. 3 figures walked in. At first glance, they looked like normal. Crew members, human, calm, efficient. But their eyes were too steady, too cold. No blinking. No emotion. Alex didn't wait. He triggered the pulse. The power cell exploded in a flash of light and sound sharp, blinding like lightning trapped in a bottle. The machines staggered. Sarya stepped forward, her veil glowing, her eyes blazing. Like twin stars, she reached into their minds, not with anger, but with emotion. She pushed grief, hope, and memories into them. A child crying, a sunrise, the feeling of being left behind. The first machine twitched. The second dropped to its knees. The third pointed a weapon. Alex tackled it. Hard, they slammed into the wall. Sparks flew. "Run," he shouted at Sarya, but she didn't leave. She walked up to the third machine and looked it in the eyes. Her voice entered its mind. "You are not real. I am. And I mourn for what you could have been." The machine froze, shivered, and then collapsed. Alex stared up from the floor, breathing hard. "Remind me never to make you angry." Sarya helped him up. They were scouts. "The next ones won't fall so easily. Need to get off this ship," Alex said. "Now." They exited into a darker hallway. Fires flickered from broken panels. A few frightened passengers ran past them. No one stopped. No one asked questions. Fear had taken control of the Radiance. Alex grabbed a hallway map. "Escape pods are 2 decks down. It will be guarded," Sarya said. "We'll figure it out." As they moved through the broken corridors, Alex noticed how Sarya looked at everything, the flickering lights, the panic, the damage. "You've never seen humans in crisis, have you?" he asked. "I have read reports," she answered softly, "but not like this." "No." They turned a corner and found themselves face to face with a young human girl, maybe 6 years old. She was crying, hiding behind a broken panel. Alex knelt beside her. "Hey, it's okay. What's your name?" "Alina," she said between sobs. "Where are your parents?" She shook her head. "I don't know. People ran. I fell." Sarya knelt too. She gently placed her hand on the child's forehead. A moment passed. Then Lena smiled through tears. Her fear faded. "You calmed her?" Alex whispered. "I shared stillness," Sarya replied. Lena looked at her. "You're pretty, like a star." Sarya blinked. Slowly, a warm glow filled her veil. She looked almost touched. Alex smiled. "Told you." They took the girl with them. No way they'd leave her behind. Down the corridor, they reached a sealed bulkhead. The escape pods were just beyond. "Locked," Alex said. Sarya pressed her hand to the metal. I can feel them. On the other side, too many? 4? No emotions? All axiom. Alex looked at the walls, then at Lena. He knelt beside her. Lena, I need you to stay here, behind this wall. Okay? We'll be right back. Lena nodded bravely. You're gonna fight the robots. He smiled. Something like that. Alex turned to Saria. Can you do it again? Perhaps. But this many, it will drain me. Maybe too much. He thought for a second. What if I helped? You are not like me. No, he said. But maybe you don't have to carry it alone. He reached out and took her hand. She looked surprised, but didn't pull away. Let me in again, he said, like before. She hesitated, then closed her eyes, and once again they linked minds. This time it was stronger. Alex saw her entire life, not just moments, but meaning. A society that feared emotion, a girl trained to hide, a mind aching for connection but punished for showing it, and Saria saw Earth's chaos, courage and hope, humans falling, failing, and always standing again. Then, together, they stepped. Forward, the door opened. The 4 Axiom agents turned. Saria lifted her free hand. Alex gripped hers tighter. Then they spoke not with words, but with feeling. Together, they pushed out a wave of memory and emotion. A mother holding her newborn child, the ache of heartbreak, a soldier refusing to run. A father's sacrifice, the feeling of being seen, truly seen for the first time. The Axiom froze. Their borrowed skin flickered. One screamed a sound no machine should make. They collapsed. Smoke rose. Silence returned. Saria nearly fell. Alex caught her. You okay? She nodded weakly. That everything. They returned to Lena. She hugged Saria tight. You're like magic, she said. Saria smiled through exhaustion. Not magic. Just human, a little. They entered the escape pod. Alex launched it. As it flew out into space, he looked back at the wounded ship. Alarms still blared. Fires still burned, but hope flew with them. He turned to Saria. You did something amazing. She looked at him. No, we did. The small escape pod floated silently through the vast blackness of space, carrying Alex, Saria, and the little girl Lena away from the wreckage of the Radiance. Outside, distant stars sparkled like tiny diamonds, cold and indifferent. Inside, the pod's lights cast soft shadows. Lena was curled up in a corner, clutching a small blanket she'd found somewhere on the ship. Her eyes were heavy with exhaustion, but she refused to sleep. Alex watched her quietly. Saria sat opposite him, her fingers tracing faint patterns on the console. The glow of her veil was dim, almost fading. Alex broke the silence. How do you feel? She gave a tired smile, drained. Good, he said. Because the Axiom aren't going to stop chasing us. Saria looked out the small window, her eyes reflecting the distant stars. They do not understand emotion. It is their weakness, but also our greatest strength. Alex nodded. I still can't believe what you did back there, using feelings as a weapon. Something no one ever thought of. Emotions are the language of life, she said softly. Without them, existence is empty. Lena stirred. Are we safe now? She asked in a small voice. Alex smiled. For now, yes, we're far from the Radiance. But we have to find a place where the Axiom can't reach us. Saria's eyes brightened. There is a world far beyond the known sectors, a planet called Elysium. It is a sanctuary, hidden by ancient technology. It is where I was supposed to go before the attack. Alex frowned. Hidden. Why? Because the galaxy is not kind to those who feel deeply, Saria said. Elysium is a place where emotion can flourish without fear. Sounds like a dream, Alex said. How do we get there? Saria's fingers danced over the console. There is a wormhole near here. It leads to Elysium, but it's unstable, dangerous. Alex glanced at Lena, who was now half asleep. Don't have much choice, he said. Let's take the risk. The journey through darkness, the pod edged closer to the wormhole, a swirling vortex of shimmering blue and purple light. The sight was mesmerizing and terrifying. "Hold on," Zarya warned. Alex gripped the controls tightly as the pod entered the wormhole. The stars outside stretched and twisted, light warping in impossible ways. The pod shook violently. Lena woke with a startled cry. "What's happening?" "Just a bumpy ride," Alex said, trying to sound calm. Seconds felt like hours as they were tossed through the tunnel of light, then dashed silence. The pod emerged into calm space. Orbiting a breathtaking planet below, green forests, deep blue oceans, and skies painted with soft purples stretched out as far as the eye could see. "We made it," Zarya whispered. Alex looked at her. Elysium. A sanctuary of light, the pod landed gently in a clearing, surrounded by tall, glowing trees. The air was fresh and filled with a gentle hum. Like the planet itself was alive and breathing. Lena ran out, laughing and chasing shimmering butterflies. Alex took a deep breath. "This place, it's incredible." Zarya smiled. "Welcome to home." As they walked, Zarya explained more about her people's history. The Alyari once lived openly in the galaxy, sharing their gifts of empathy and emotion, but others feared them. The Axiom rose in response machines born from fear of feeling. They seek control through silence. Alex nodded. "But here, you're free." "Yes," Zarya said. "And here we can fight back." They reached a village of graceful, translucent buildings that seemed to grow from the ground like giant crystals. The Alyari inhabitants greeted Zarya with warm smiles. Their eyes shining with kindness, an elder approached, her voice calm and melodic. "Zarya Vaughn, you have returned." Zarya bowed respectfully. Alex watched as the community welcomed them. Their fear replaced with curiosity and hope, the power of feeling that night. Under twin moons, the village gathered in a large hall made of shimmering light. The elder spoke. "We have felt the galaxies. Pain, the rise of the Axiom threatens all that we cherish. But emotion is our shield and our sword." Zarya stepped forward. "The Axiom fear feeling because it is unpredictable. But feelings connect us, they give us strength. Together, we can protect the galaxy's future." Alex felt something swell inside him, a new sense of purpose. Suddenly, Lena tugged his sleeve. "Can I try?" He smiled. "Try what?" She pointed at a crystal that glowed faintly. The elder laughed softly. "Come, child, let us show you." Lena placed her hand on the crystal. A warm light spread through her fingers. She giggled as tiny sparks danced around her. Alex looked at Zarya. "They're like magic." "No," she said. "They're life." The threat returned suddenly. Alarms blared across the village. Zarya's eyes widened. "They've found us." Alex grabbed his weapon. "More than that," Zarya said. "They've learned from their mistakes. They bring a new kind of silence." Outside, dark shapes moved through the forest machines cloaked in shadow, their forms shifting like smoke. The villagers prepared to defend their home. Alex stood beside Zarya, feeling the weight of what was coming. The machines advanced silently, their weapons glowing cold and blue, but Zarya raised her hands, and a wave of emotion burst forth. Love, courage, hope filling the air like a living shield. The machines faltered, their cold metal faces flickering. Alex fired, aiming carefully. But the battle was just beginning. The air in the forest crackled. Leaves shimmered with static. Shadows moved unnaturally between trees. And at the center of it all stood Alex, Zarya, and the people of Elysium ready for war. Lena stood behind the village's glowing barrier, clutching a small light crystal, her eyes wide but brave. Zarya looked at the oncoming wave of Axiom soldiers, sleek, quiet machines, newly designed for one thing, to resist emotion. "They've changed," she whispered. "They adapted," Alex said, "just like we do." The machines moved as one, like a cold tide washing over the land. They didn't speak, didn't hesitate. They came with only one message: erase all feeling. Zarya's glow dimmed. If they reach the core of Elysium, this world will die. Alex took her hand. Then they won't reach it. He turned to the villagers behind him. You're not soldiers, but you're not weak. You've survived in silence for too long. Now, the galaxy needs to feel again. So fight not with anger, fight with your hearts. For a second, silence. Then an elder stepped forward. You will not be shadows anymore. And the people began to shine. The battle for Elysium, the first wave, hit the outer barrier. Sparks flew. Crystals cracked. But the emotional shield formed by memories and shared thoughts held. Saria focused. Her thoughts reached every villager, linking minds. Across the village, they shared feelings like music, joy, hope. Together, they created a storm of emotion that pushed back the silence. Alex rushed forward, leading a group with handheld energy launchers, human tech upgraded with Aliari crystal fusions. Axiom machines broke through the tree line, aiming weapons. He fired first. You want silence? I've got a better idea. How about noise? Boom. A sonic charge hit the lead machine. It staggered. Behind Alex, a teenage boy sang an old love song from Earth. Strange, but somehow it worked. The machines nearest him paused, confused by the raw emotion in his voice. We can overload them, Saria said in his mind. She stepped into the center of the battlefield. Unarmed. Alex shouted, Saria, wait. But she had already begun. Her body glowed like a sun in the night. Her voice filled the air, not spoken words. But pure feeling, she sent grief, forgiveness, the aching love she felt for her lost people, the fragile hope she'd found in Alex. Some axiom fell back. Others shook violently. But then something new came. A single tall machine, black as coal, stepped out of the mist. Its voice was deep, cold, and full of wrongness. We have learned your trick, Saryavan. Emotion will no longer stop us. It raised its arm. Alex ran, heart pounding. No. A shot rang out. The energy blast struck Saria in the chest. Her body fell, glowing veil flickering. Time stopped. The spark that doesn't die, Saria. Alex fell beside her, grabbing her hand. Her skin was cold. Her glow faded fast. No, don't you dare go out like this. She looked at him with half-lidded eyes. I thought, maybe this would be enough. It's not. You're not done yet. The black machine stepped forward. You cannot win. You are scattered. Alone. We are one. Alex turned, rage and grief surging together. No, you're wrong. He stood up slowly, looking at the villagers, at Lena holding the glowing stone, at the others, still standing, still shining. You think we're alone? That we're weak because we feel? Look. Again, he raised his voice. We're not just one. We're everyone. He touched the side of his head, opened his mind. Saria, link me to them. She blinked once, and then it happened. A chain of emotion passed from Alex to the people of Elysium, then from them to the forest, and beyond. Suddenly, dozens of escapees, from the Radiants hiding on nearby planets, felt it. Other Aliari across the stars felt it too, and far away. Even a few humans watching the skies felt something stir. One by one. Hearts connected. They weren't a small group anymore. They were a wave. The rise of feeling, the machines hesitated. Data flooded their sensors, but it wasn't numbers. It was pain. It was love. It was music. A language they couldn't filter out. The black leader screamed, trying to shut it down, but it was too late. Saria's body glowed again. She opened her eyes. I'm still here, she whispered. She stood, energy flowing through her body. You say you are one, she said to the axiom, but you are nothing. Because to be truly one, you must feel. And with Alex at her side, she reached out with all her being. Together, they unlocked a signal, not a message, but a shared dream. The axiom cord deep in their network began to fracture. All over, the battlefield machines dropped. Some fell still. Others shook as if waking up from a long sleep, and just one looked around and said, in a quiet voice, What? Am I a new beginning? The black machine, too powerful to be fully broken, began to retreat. Smoke poured from its chest. Its voice was weak now. This changes nothing. But it was wrong. Everything had changed. The battle ended. Villagers wept. Not for loss, but for victory. Lena ran forward and hugged Saria tightly. You came back. Saria smiled and knelt. You helped. You all did. Alex stood beside her. Battered, burned, but alive. He looked at Saria. So what now? She looked to the stars. Now, we teach the galaxy what it forgot. That to feel is not weakness. It is the beginning of everything. Epilogue. The most beautiful woman weeks past. Word of the battle spread, carried by emotion rather than signal. People across the galaxy began to remember what it meant to feel, what it meant to care. The axiom, no longer unstoppable, began to fall back. Alex and Saria walked together through the glowing forests of Elysium. You're quiet today, she said. Just thinking, he replied. About how this all started. She smiled. With a seat on a ship and a very beautiful alien woman. She turned to face him. Do you still think I'm beautiful? He nodded. It's more than ever, but not just because of how you look. Oh, because you made me feel something I thought I lost, a reason to hope. Saria took his hand, and you reminded me I don't have to feel alone. They stood there in silence. Not the axiom's kind, but the kind filled with peace.